Hey everybody, it's book haul time. I have a stack of books to tell you all about to make that TBR of yours continue to grow. So let's get started. Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. It's Russell with Ink and Paper Blog. How are you all doing today? As always, I hope you're happy, I hope you're healthy, I hope you're safe, and of course, I hope you're reading an amazing book or two or three or four. It has been cold and wet here in Northern California, and I mean really cold. I know those of you from those snowy states are telling me I don't know cold, and I don't. But when I walk my dogs in the morning and it's like 34 degrees, that's cold to me. And it has been wet, which has led to me actually being able to get some reading done, which is good because the work has just been, let's just say it's been busy, very, very, very busy, long days. So I am a little bit behind on my reading, but that's okay. But today I'm here to tell you about some books that have been sent my way that I haven't gotten a chance to tell you about yet. So as always, get out your pen, get out your paper, get out your Goodreads, however you keep track of your TBR. If you are so able, please order these books from your local independent bookstore. You know, it's that time of year, they need us, or get your library to get you a copy as soon as possible. So the first three books I'm going to talk about are actually like middle grade YA. I haven't been sent a lot of this year, which is funny because normally I get much more, which has been a little sad. I really do enjoy reading YA and middle grade novels, but I got sent three in a row to tell you about. The first one I'm going to tell you about is actually the third in a series, so I'm going to sort of just give you a hint, but that is Into the Windwracked Wilds. That's a little bit of a tongue twister, by Deborah Baker. Now, this is actually the pen name for Seanan McGuire, who we all know as a fantastic science fiction fantasy writer. This is out from TORDOTCOM. This is the third in the series. The first book is called Over the Woodward Wall, and the second one is Along the Saltwise Sea. And I'm not going to say much about it other than if you like books like Narnia, like those books where kids and groups of friends go on adventures. This one has sort of a literary spin to it. And it's about a group of friends that are drawn into a world, and it says they'll soon discover that an audience with royalty, because they are in the clutches of the Queen of Swords, is never easily escaped. So that's what the third one's a little bit about, but I'm not going to tell you any names or anything because I want you to read the whole series if you get a chance. Fun. If you have a middle grade YA reader in your life, get them the whole entire series for Christmas, for Hanukkah, for whatever holiday you may or may not celebrate over the next couple of months, so that they can dive in. I'm sure that they will love it. So that's Into the Windwracked Wilds by Deborah Baker, out from Tor.com. I will say, I don't know much about this, but when Europa sent me this middle grade book, it is so beautiful that I just can't, right? Is that not beautiful? So this is The Marvelous Land of Snergs by Veronica Cossanteli. And it says, based on the original by E.A. Wyke Smith, illustrated by Melissa Castrillon. And I hope I got all of that correct. But this is also like another one of those runaway orphan stories. So Pip and Flora have always had a knack for trouble, running away from the Sunny Bay home for superfluous and accidentally parentless children. Love that. That reminds me a lot of something like a Lemony Snicket would say, right? They go into this land of cinnamon bears and magic doors and the cheerful little Snergs, which I'm assuming we will learn what they are as the book goes along. However, there is a villain dressed in violet that wants to keep them there forever. So with the help of a Snerg, they are going to try to escape. And it has beautiful little illustrations in it, and it is just absolutely lovely. How beautiful is this entire cover? I love it. So this is The Marvelous Land of Snergs by Veronica Cossanteli, and this is out from Europa editions. Oh my god, look at the back. Look at how cute this is. Totally. I need to make sure that this is not translated. You know that oftentimes, yes, Europa does a lot of translations. Don't want to miss on giving those translators their credit where due. The next book is called The Wilderwomen by Ruth Emmie Lang, and this is out from St. Martin's Press. Sorry, there was something in it and it fall all over my lap. Okay, so this is actually the story of two sisters, but it all starts that 5 years ago their mother, Nora, disappeared. And the older of the sisters, I love, like in the blurb it says she should have seen it coming because she has the power to see the future, but she didn't. And she's estranged from her sister, but her sister sort of has this power, this memory power. Not only does she have like a sort of the ability to remember everything, she can actually hear echoes of other people's memories. And one day she hears an echo of a memory, a song that reminds her of her mother, and then she wakes up in an aviary, doesn't know how she got there. And then what winds up happening is she tries to convince her sister that their mother is still alive, and they need to go on an adventure to try to find her. So that's The Wilderwomen by Ruth Emmie Lang. You may know Ruth Emmie Lang. She wrote Beasts of Extraordinary Circumstances that was out a few years ago. But this is a tale of sisters. It's got a little magic. It got a little bit of that kind of stuff going on. And it's a search for a mom and what will bring that whole family together, right? That's what we love, love, love. So again, The Wilderwomen by Ruth Emmie Lang, out from St. Martin's Press. Okay. Now we're going to go into some not middle grade and YA fiction. The first book, again, is out from Europa. They sent me 2 books together in the same package, and that is Andrew Miller's The Slowworm's Song. And this is out because I've seen this in the bookstore. I think it actually came out a couple months ago now. And I don't know Andrew Miller, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't he shortlisted for the Booker? Yes, he was shortlisted for the Booker, I believe for his book, Pure. I'm sorry, there is a very loud airplane going by right now. I don't know what that is all about. Andrew Miller's book, The Slowman's Song, it is about a man. His name is Stephen. He one day gets this letter, and it is a letter that sort of changes his life. It says it goes off like a bomb. It is a summons for an inquiry in Belfast about an event that occurred in the summer of 1982 during the Irish Troubles, and an event that he wants to forget. And he is an ex-soldier, he's a recovering alcoholic, and he's been working very hard on his relationship with his estranged daughter. And what the book turns into is sort of a letter to his daughter and him explaining his life and how he sort of got where he is and where he's going. Yeah, I think it sounds fantastic. And that's Andrew Miller's The Slowworm's Song, but out from Europa edition. And the cover is quite beautiful. It is really beautiful. So there's that one. The next one, I read a review of this, I want to say in Publishers Weekly, and it was a rave. So I was so excited when Knopf sent me The Magic Kingdom by Russell Banks. It's such a shiny cover too, and I just love these like steamboats on the river. Totally obsessed. And I actually started to read this one, and it has an introduction from Russell Banks because this is based on the life of a true man. His name is Harley Mann, and he was a Florida real estate what is the word I'm looking for? Speculator? Like land speculator? Is that the word? I'm saying that wrong, aren't I? But he recorded a bunch of interviews. And what Russell Banks has done is he's turned them into this novel. And he sort of explains in the foreword how that sort of came into being and what his piece in this is and why they just didn't repeat or sort of just print the recordings and what he does with that. But it's 1971. Harley begins recording his life story on a reel-to-reel machine. He reflects on his childhood. It's the early 20th century. He recounts that after his father's sudden death, his family migrates down to the Florida swamplands, where just miles away from where Walt Disney World would wind up being. And they join a community of Shakers. Led by Elder John, a generous man with a mysterious past, the colony devoted itself to labor, faith, and charity, rejecting all temptation that lay beyond the property. Though this way of life initially saved Harley and his family from complete ruin, when Harley begins to fall in love with Sadie Pratt, a consumptive patient living on the grounds, his loyalty to the Shakers and their conservative worldview gives strained, and ultimately it's broken. As Harley dictates his story across more than half a century, meditating on youth, Florida's ever-changing landscape, and the search for an American utopia, the truth about Sadie, Elder John, and the Shakers comes to light, clarifying the past and present alike. So the review was stunning, and I read the foreword to this, and I'm fascinated by this man, by this story, and I'm really excited to read The Magic Kingdom by Russell Banks out from Knopf. Okay. The next book is by a Booker Prize winner who I have found a number of Booker Prize winners wind up doing something sort of dystopian or futuristic later on after they've won the Booker. And that's The Singularities by John Banville. This is also out from Knopf. How beautiful is that cover? When I was trying to figure out how to summarize this book, so the book starts with a man who, it says in the introduction, he's borrowed his name, he arrives in a borrowed car at the house he grew up in. But there's a new family in that house, and it's the Godleys, who are descendants of the late world-famous scientist Adam Godley, whose theory of existence threw the universe into chaos. And this mystery man, this man who showed up with a borrowed name and a borrowed car, who has just completed a prison sentence, feels as if time has stopped, or was torn, or was opened in new and strange ways. He must now vie for the idiosyncratic Godley family, with their harried housekeeper, who become his landlady, with a recently commissioned biographer of Godley Sr., and with a wealth of beautiful women from his past who come bearing an unusual request. I don't know what it's going to be. I have no idea. I sort of feel like it's going to be crazy, and I'm super excited for it. So that's The Singularities by John Banville, and this is out by Banville. I forgot the N in that. Banville out from Knopf. So yeah, super excited about that. The last three books, well, one book and a duo, were sent to me by a very nice man and from Next Exit Press. And David sent these to me, and I don't know much about them. The first is, and the first one's coming out in January of 2023, and that's The Judges by Eric J. Matluck. And yeah, this book sounds really interesting. I've never heard of it. I've never heard of the publisher, so I'm super excited to celebrate these little publishers and the books they put out. So it says, you can't win unless you're judged. So somebody tells Mary Sarabi, and Mary is no stranger to being judged. She's a young woman, half Indian, half Chinese, who's a classical pianist and plays the kind of music, music from the 20th century that most people hate. But that's her passion. When she wins a prestigious competition, her life changes, but rather than fill her with a sense of pride and accomplishment, it fills her with the feelings of fear and claustrophobia, because suddenly everything she does comes under scrutiny, and she soon learns that her very existence is about to be judged. So that's The Judges by Eric J. Matluck. This comes out, I lost the paper. I want to say it comes out in January of 2023. Let me make sure. January 10th of 2023. And it, again, is out from Next Exit Press. So, yeah, pick that one. That one sounds really interesting. Sort of gives me vibes of, All My Puny Sorrows a little bit. But, yeah, I'm super excited about that. Now, the next two, when he reached out, I was like, I don't know anything about these. But I think they're like beautiful, beautiful books. And they are a duology. And this one's The Blanchard Witches of Dalmar County, and the Blanchard Witches' Prodigal Daughters is the second one. So I'll hold them both up here again for y'all. And I'm going to just read the back of the one. The Blanchards are your typical close-knit Southern family who also just happen to wield magic. The road through family life is never easy, but for 3 generations of witches living together in their ancestral home, things are getting more complicated. Olympia Blanchard's, her daughters, and her adult grandchildren navigate love, loss, discovery, and quite a bit of danger as they face a lifelong enemy and try to catch a local murderer on the prowl. Life is changing fast, and they will need all of their skills, all of their love, and their indomitable family unity to face challenges awaiting them. So That sounds super fun. I didn't say that. So Micah House is the author. I apologize, Micah. And that's the Blanchard Witches. It's a duology. It may turn into a trio. I can't speak today, y'all. Maybe it's going to be maybe there will be another book. You know what I was getting at. So, but they sound fun. I don't know much about them. I haven't heard anything about them. So, but if they sound up your alley, let's pick them up. And these are by Kendrell Publishing. And again, Micah House's The Blanchard Witches. So, and they're beautiful. They really are beautiful books. So that's a stack of books. I hope that at least one or two or three or all of them wind up on your TBR. Let's see if I can pick them up. They're always a little bit more difficult when there's those smaller ones and those bigger ones. So let's see if I can get them up there. There you go. Not very even, but that's okay. As always, if you are a return subscriber, I could not do this without you. If you are new to my channel, I thank you so very, very much. I appreciate you every single day. And I want you to hit subscribe and click that bell. It helps me out. As always, I encourage you to read globally, shop locally, and until next time, I wish you happy reading. Bye, everyone.